Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Alinga Sise of Urban Harvest Organic Farm. For all of you who have subscribed to my YouTube channel, I am so grateful. And for those who are still new, please kindly consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. Today I'm super excited because, as you can see, the brooder is looking totally different from the beginning. Actually, I made a video how I set up this brooder. And for those who have not yet watched, kindly go and watch that video. You will learn a lot. And currently, as you can see, the birds are super healthy, very excited. They are feeding so well. And as a farmer, this is where your joy comes from. Actually, they are growing very fast. If I can bring you closer to some of them that are feeding. Okay, see, the wings have already come out very well. The birds are already actively feeding, and the brooder is basically looking so neat. And like I said in the previous video, it is very important for your brooder to be very neat. When I say the brooder to be neat, is water should not be pouring inside the brooder. So basically it should be a purely dry brooder. So today I want us to discuss about the feed calculation of these baby chicks, and we are basically going to talk surrounding the 4 weeks that they are here inside the brooder. When they get out of the brooder, we shall again discuss more for the other weeks. But before we come to the calculation, I want to assure you that feeding of these birds is so paramount, and it starts right from the brooder here. That is why, if you can see, I have managed to put so many feeders in a way that birds, each baby chick is able to access feeds wherever it is. And then from feeding, it goes to drinking water. I've put I think like 14 drinkers, and it is, at least it is in every point where all the baby chicks can access these drinkers. Okay, by this stage, this is now, they are in day, today is their day 8, okay? But at this point now, they can identify the feeds and the drinking water. So even if you put it in a strategic location, but previously I was putting it, you all saw that how I was putting it. So feeding and drinking water is very important in the lives of these birds, these layers. Okay, with the experience I've got in these layers, if we don't feed them well from the time go, honestly, they will not perform well. So that is why I am emphasizing that we must do the feeding well, and the feeds should be the proper feeds. Now, like I told you, for me, I give the pellet feeds, starter pellets. Okay, there is also pre-starter for other companies, but me, I give the starter pellets, of which I think sometime back I told the company where I buy it from. So I give the starter pellets basically for 4 weeks, but so many farmers out there, they only give for 2 weeks, simply because these pellets are very expensive. But me, I prefer giving it for the 4 weeks, because I rather spend a lot of money now so that they produce well, all the production comes out well, rather than like compromising and going for a cheaper one and my birds will not come out well. So me, from the time I started this project, I give my chicks pellets for the 4 weeks. Okay, I know of so many people, even my friends, who only give for 2 weeks. Some even go only give for 1 week. So it is upon you with this project, by the way. It is upon what works best for you. And for me, I'm just here to share my experience with you, whatsoever I'm doing in my farm, at least to also let you know my experience, so that if you can learn from me, it is well and good. So feeding is very important in the lives of this bird. So let us really not try to cut on the cost of feeds by giving these birds less feeds, by giving them cheaper feeds, which may not be very good for your chicks. So that is why we are going to discuss the feed calculation, and please, I want us to note it down, because I've realized so many of you do not have the chart for the feed calculation. But this chart, you can always get it from the companies that have supplied you with these baby chicks, or the agents who have supplied you with the baby chicks. I believe they are standard feed calculations for these layers. I don't know whether each breed have their own feed calculation, but me right now we have the Isa Brown, and we are going to use this particular feed calculation. And this feed calculation, actually I have been using it even for this other bird, that the birds that are currently laying. Guys, we still have about 300 birds and they're still performing well, and very soon I will bring you updates about them. So this is also the feed calculation that I used for these birds. So please let us go straight. I'm just going to sit on my chair there. I have a chair inside my brooder where I just come, sit there, watch over my birds, sometimes even pray, okay? So, or even listen to music with them together. Guys, it is fun having these birds. Source of heat is still very important. That is why it is already morning hours, but you see it is already actually coming to 9 a.m. in the morning, but I have added more charcoal in our pots. So the birds are happily feeding, okay? The birds are really happily feeding. So let us go straight to our calculation. Let me just sit right here. I'm not going to write it on the board like I used to do. This time I've written it down here. So I'm not going to write it on the board. I've written it down here. So this is where we are going to learn from. So for those who would want to know, some of you who do not have the chart, you can copy from me. Now, I'm going to have arranged it like every week, how much feeds one baby chick is supposed to consume per day. Then I calculated with our birds, the ones that are remaining, because currently we are left with 682 baby chicks here. So I'm going to do the calculation basing on what I have here, but you can calculate it according to the number of birds or the chicks that you have wherever you are, okay? So now for me, I have currently 682 baby chicks. So the heading is, the date is right there, and the heading is feed calculation for 682 baby chicks for the 4 weeks. Now we come to week 1. I've already written everything down, guys, not to waste a lot of time. Now when we come to week 1, you find that each baby chick is supposed to consume 12 grams of feeds per day. Now we want to know how many grams are 682 chicks supposed to consume. So we say it's equivalent to 12 grams times the 682 baby chicks, which will bring us to that figure. It's right there. That is 8,184 grams of feeds. Now for you to measure this thing very well, we need to convert it to kilograms, because most of our weighing scales are in kilograms, not in grams here in Uganda. So even me, the one I use is in kilograms. So we shall say 8,184 grams, you divide it by 1,000, and that will bring us to 8 kilograms, 184 grams of feeds. So each day we are supposed to give this amount of feeds. So that is why I've been telling you that we are giving 8 point something like that. So if we want to know for 7 days, because these feeds, they normally consume it in 7 days. So you find that the 12 grams of feeds, each chick is supposed to consume it in 7 days. So we want to know in 7 days how many kilograms of feeds we need. For some of you who would want to plan ahead and buy your feeds at once, because sometimes also it is costly to keep on going to purchase the feeds on a daily basis, or sending those borders to bring for you. You find that you will be wasting a lot of transport, and then also in most cases these feeds are not sold less than Okay, they are sold in kilograms, but they become more expensive if you're buying like in small quantity. So now in 7 days we are going to multiply 8 kilograms point 184 grams times the 7 days. That will bring us to this amount. This one, 57.3 kilograms of feeds in 1 week. So for us here in 1 week, these birds, because they have now completed 1 week, because today is that day 8, we brought them on Tuesday last week. So that means yesterday, it was their day 7. Yes, yesterday was their day 7. So today they have now entered their day 8. So by now they should have consumed 57.3 kilograms of feeds. Now, if we go to week 2, each baby chick is supposed to consume 18 grams of feeds per day. So for the 682 chicks, we shall put 18 grams times the 682 birds, which will bring us to 12,276 grams of feeds. Now we want it in kilograms. We shall divide it by 1,000. It will bring us to 12.3 kilograms of feeds every day. So for the 682 birds or chicks, we are supposed to give 12.3 kilograms of feeds every day. Now if we want to know for the 7 days, we are going to multiply that times 7 days, which will bring us to 86 kilograms of feeds for the next 7 days. Now we go to week 3. Now in week 3, each baby chick is supposed to consume 25 grams of feeds. So if we come to 682 baby chicks, we shall put 25 grams times the 682 baby chicks, which will bring us to 17,050 grams of feeds. Guys, I hope I am mentioning these figures well, but since you can see it very well, you can mention it the way you know. So if we want to know it in kilograms, we shall multiply that. We shall divide that by 1,000, which is right here. We shall divide it by 1,000, which will bring us to 17.05 kilograms of feeds per day. So in week 3, we are supposed to give this every day. So if we want to know in 7 days, because that will go for 7 days, we shall multiply it times 7 days, which will bring us to 119.4 kilograms of feeds by the end of week 3. Now, when we come to week 4, each baby chick is supposed to consume 31 grams of feeds per day. That one finds when they have really grown and they can really eat. You can enter the chicken house and the brooder and you find all the feeders empty, but are very hungry. You pour the feeds, they come running. So that is now the time that a lot of money has started going. You've started feeling, as a farmer, you've really started feeding this bird. So 31 grams per day, and for the 682 baby chicks, we shall multiply it by 31 grams, which will bring us to 21 kilograms of 21.142 grams of feeds, 21,142 grams of feeds. Now, if we want to know it in kilograms, we are going to divide that by 1,000, which will bring us to 21.14 kilograms of feeds. Okay, now if we want to know it in 7 days, how many kilograms of feeds we need for proper planning, we shall multiply that by 7 days, which will bring us to 148 kilograms of feeds by the end of 4 weeks. The 4th week, you need these kilograms of feeds. Now I decided to to add everything, because some of you may have enough money to buy all these feeds at once. So I've decided actually to add everything for you for proper planning and for easier going there and buying your feeds. Okay, now for the 4 weeks in the brooder, week 1 you need 57. In summary, week 1 you need 57.3 kilograms of feeds. Week 2 you need 86 kilograms of feeds, and week 3 you need 119.4 kilograms of feeds, and week 4 you need 148 kilograms of feeds. Now in total, for the 4 weeks that we are here in the brooder, we shall need 410.7 kilograms of feeds. So that is the total amount, or the total kilograms of feeds we need in this brooder for these birds to consume before they leave this brooder. So now another thing that I wanted to talk about briefly is that for the first 3-4 days when you bring these baby chicks, okay, with these ones, the birds that I have had now, they were not consumed, they were not finishing this 8 kilograms. Okay, by the time it reaches 24 hours, I am adding the feeds, but I find there are other feeders that still have some feeds. Now some of you will end up not adding the feeds, but remember, if you again wait for the next 24 hours, you will find that the feeders are totally empty. So now what I was doing, I make sure that I add the feeds, okay? Because even right now, if you can see, other feeders are now becoming totally empty, whereas other feeders still have the feeds, okay? So as a farmer or a beginner, endeavor to make sure that feeds are available for these birds. You will just calculate within these 410.7 kilograms of feeds. We now know that within the 4 weeks, they should have consumed this amount of feeds. So you will have to balance it. Even if the first 3 days the birds have not been feeding well, still do not cut on the feeds. Okay, make sure that you give them the right amount of feeds. That is how you're going to win in this project. That is how your birds are going to perform well, and you will smile, and you will even bring more birds, and the project is going to grow big and bigger. So please, farmers, let us not compromise on this issue of feeds and drinking water. Let us make sure we give the birds the right amount of feeds and the right feeds. Okay, so for today, that is all I had for you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for always coming back. Thank you so much for loving me. But if you're still new, please consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. Click on the notification bell so that you never miss out any upload. Share this video, comment in the comment section down below, and I'll be so grateful. See you next time. I love you all. Bye bye.